Hey everyone, welcome to episode 5 of the Happy Workaholic Show. My name is Kellyanne Gorman and I am a business and LinkedIn coach as well as a luxury brand consultant. And the Happy Workaholic Show is all about tips, tricks, and triumphs regarding business, LinkedIn, and my life. I'm super passionate about social media, selling, and sharing a lot of tools that work in your business, as well as a lot of things that you need in your life. So today I want to get a little bit personal with you. I want to talk to you about the art of the follow-up and why it is so important. So I want to tell you a personal story of mine, which if you've been following me for a while, you probably already know, but I have an autoimmune disease called NMO, and it stands for neuromyelitis optica, and it's an autoimmune disease that has no cure, but there is treatment to prevent a relapse. So that is why I've been doing chemo for the last 6 months, I think. Last year I went through absolute hell getting my proper diagnosis. I had 12 MRIs, multiple trips to labs, pulling 37 vials at a time. That was like the norm, because with an autoimmune disease, you need to pretty much dig deep to find out what it is that's actually hiding under there. That's kind of like the general way I could put it to let all of you understand like how to get diagnosed with all the blood work. I spent 9 days in the hospital, again, trying to get the absolute true diagnosis. So long story short, last year was hell. This year is a new year. And my last chemo treatment, when I started getting my treatments, they were once a week, then it was once a month, and now it's twice a year. So I'm super lucky that it's working. And what NMO is an autoimmune disease, and you can basically go blind or become paralyzed, and it can happen at any given moment. So unfortunately, that's what I have. But the great news is that there is a couple of foundations, one specifically called Jackson, and they are a foundation that is trying to find a cure. So they have doctors and lawyers and scientists and everybody combined all around the world trying to find a cure for this disease that I have. It's super rare. There's about 4,000 of us, I believe. The number probably went up, but there's about 4,000 of us in the United States that have NMO. And most of the time you're misdiagnosed in the beginning because it's very similar to MS. And that's what happened to me. In the beginning, I was diagnosed with MS. And you cannot have both. You have one or the other. And not a lot of doctors agree with that, but that's the true statement. Like, you cannot have both. If you do take an MS drug, you can potentially die from taking that. And I was very lucky that that didn't happen to me because I am constantly following up. So the reason why I'm telling you about NMO, the reason why I'm telling you like my personal story, because the Happy Workaholic Show is about business, LinkedIn, and my life. And I wanted to share a piece of my life with you today. So where I'm recording from is where I usually work out every day. I've been trying so hard to work out a couple miles every day. If I do 4 or 5 times a week, that's like really good. Yesterday I thought I was coming down with the flu. Today I'm much better. So that's a plus. But yeah, it's super nice out in Vegas right now. It's about 70 degrees. So back to this live. I'm telling you about my NMO and my autoimmune disease because last year it was literally a full-time job, no joke, like 40 hours, probably more a week. I spent following up with doctors, and I never would have gotten my diagnosis as soon as I did. I never would have gotten the proper meds that I needed to be on, the proper chemo treatment, anything that's honestly kept me alive after last year's hell I went through. That would not have happened if I did not follow up. And I say this to so many other people that I meet that are going through cancer diagnosis or other autoimmune diseases, anything that they're going through. I'm like, well, did you call your doctor? Did you call the pharmacist? Are you still waiting for an answer? You cannot wait for someone to get back to you. And I'm actually going through it right now because I went to the dentist for the first time in a really long time last week, and I actually need a medical clearance from my neurology team so that I can get my teeth cleaned. I mean, this is like how insane it is. And I have to constantly follow up with 2 or 3 parties. When you have an autoimmune disease, it just, it becomes such a pain, and you know what, following up with doctors, because you're dealing with their medical assistants most of the time and dealing with fax numbers and making sure that something is done. So I'm going to give you a prime example of why you need to follow up in your personal life when it comes to health situations and doctor's appointments, because you are one out of thousands that doctor is treating, and you need to be on your toes, on your A game when it comes to you and your family's health. You can't just sit around and wait for somebody to call you back and make sure that it's done. So here's my example. As I just mentioned, I'm waiting for my neurology team to send a medical clearance that it is okay for me to get all of this dental work done. They sent my entire medical record, which is huge, to my dentist. And they're like, no, all I need is a clearance. I just need a clearance. So now I'm dealing with my neurology team, their assistants, and the assistants at the dentist. And I'm constantly following up. I followed up 3 times last week. I followed up twice yesterday, and I followed up twice today. And the form still is not faxed. And I know that I'm one out of thousands of patients, and that's totally understandable, but it's up to you to do your own job when it comes to your health. You can't just rely on the benefit of the system that something's going to get sent. So when I go to my dentist appointment tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., I'm going to know that form has been faxed. I'm in the clear to get my teeth cleaned. And this is just like a prime example, like super simple example. You just need to call and follow up to make sure something is done and it's complete. It will save you time, money, and stress. And I promise you, because I have lived through this, the last basically 2 years of my life is constantly following up to make sure something is done. It's really up to you. You can't be blaming your doctors. You can't be blaming medical assistants. If you want to get the proper care, if you aren't feeling well, if you're waiting for a certain prescription and you're out, you should have looked ahead of time. You should make sure that you have everything written down. Because I have an autoimmune disease and I am on so many medications, I actually carry a list with me, and it's in my phone. If something were to happen, somebody could have easy access to that. So they can find it in my purse, they can find my medical ID, they can find it in my iPhone. So it's up to you to make those decisions and to make sure that all of those things are up to date and complete. And I made a mistake this morning going through, I was organizing my little pill container, and I noticed that my pills were not where they were supposed to be. And I made a mistake of putting different pills. And so that explains why I had like a crazy last 2 weeks, because I doubled up on something and didn't take something else, and I knew something was off. And this morning I figured it out. I immediately called my neurology team and pharmacist, and everything's fine. I'm going to be fine, but I'm constantly following up. I'm constantly making sure that things are in check. And it was my mistake that I obviously put the pills in the wrong spot, and that's what's been causing like this craziness to be happening to me in the last couple of weeks. But now that that's done, I'm following up with the pharmacist, making sure like everything's clear. I'm following up with my neurologist, like I don't need to get anything else done, because I made the mistake of taking like the wrong pills, which is so insane. Because if you know me and you've been following me, you know that I'm like super OCD and organized. Well, I think I just did a little bit too much and maybe I obviously put the wrong pill on the wrong day. So that was my morning. But going back to following up, you definitely have to follow up with your doctors yourself. Make a list of who you need to follow up with. And now this is not just in your personal life. This is also in business. I have landed multiple deals because I'm constantly following up. And if you need any tips and advice on how to follow up, and a lot of people ask me time frame and how to do it. Do you message them? Do you email them? Do you call them? I have a little strategy that's always worked for myself and what I've passed on to my clients that has worked in the past. So I'd be more than happy to give you that. Just shoot me a message here on Facebook, or you can always contact me on my website, kellyanngorman.com. But because I'm getting a little bit personal today, I wanted to share 2 groups with you that I've created, and one of them is called Just for Us. So Just for Us is a community that I created going through all of this health BS like the last 2 years. And it's a community that I created for anybody that's going through anything health related, heartache, or just in need of some happiness. Because I realized going through groups myself, it's really hard to constantly be talking to people that are sick and are much worse of a condition than you are. That's just my personal feeling. And when you have something that's going on with you and you're already stressed out about it and nervous about it, sometimes you just need a positive, happy place. And so that's what I wanted to create. So if you go to justforuscommunity.org, you can find the private Facebook group as well as the public Facebook page. And I created two because a lot of people don't share that they're sick to friends and family, and especially employers and employees that they're working with. So I wanted to make sure that there was a private option available, and there's a public Facebook page for others that wanted to be vocal like I am and spread awareness about something that's going on or spread awareness about their diagnosis. So I wanted to have two options available. So if you go to justforuscommunity.org, you can find out more information there. My long-term goal for this is going to eventually turn it into a nonprofit, because I really feel that it's it's definitely necessary to have something going on like this, maybe have more community events rather than just online, and bring in some other brands that people can work with and relate with, and just form a bigger positive community. And it's for anybody, like I said, going through anything health related, or if you are going through heartache or divorce, or you just broke up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or you just want to hang out with some happy, positive people, then you can definitely join us. So go to justforuscommunity.org. You can find out all the information there. The second group I want to talk to you about is something that I just created a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And it's something that I've been so passionate about, like for years, basically 20 years maybe. And it's something that I talked about on a previous episode of the Happy Workaholic show, and that is the KK Cafe. So if you don't know, my Instagram handle is at KK in Vegas, and I'll put that below if you want to connect with me. But for years, my friends have been calling me KK. That's just my name. And because of my true obsession with iced coffee and my espresso ice cubes and all of that, and entertaining and always having people over and just creating recipes, my friends have always named the kitchen I'm in the KK Cafe. So I have named my brand new Facebook group the KK Cafe, and it's all about recipe sharing, healthy eating habits. If there's something health related, an article you really want to share, go ahead and share that in the group. But it's really about getting, just like Just For Us community, positive people together and talking about healthy eating habits and sharing all their favorite recipes. And it's also the home of my live cooking show, Cooking with KK. And I'm super excited about that. I'm waiting for some brands and sponsors to come on board before my first show, but I don't know, maybe I won't wait, but I've been posting it in a couple other groups and sharing the KK Cafe Facebook group. So if you're into healthy eating and sharing recipes, that's a group that you definitely want to become a part of. There's about 80 people in there so far, and some have blogs, so they're sharing their recipes. What I'm going to be sharing on the cooking show is going to be healthy recipes that I've personally created. Some are vegetarian, some are vegan, some are for the extremely picky toddler, and my famous veggie burgers that I have about 10 recipes going right now. I'm putting together all of my recipes somewhere very special for you, but I'm sharing them along the way in the group. So if you're into healthy eating habits and also sharing your own recipes, if you're looking for a healthier version of something more comforting and fattening, drop it in the group and I will create something super healthy for you. I am by no means a chef, but I have cooked in restaurants and on yachts for a while, and not now, just in the past. And it's just something I'm really passionate about. So going back to following up and being happy in life and all that fun stuff, you definitely want to do, life is too short to be stressed. Life is too short to be sitting at a job that you effing hate. You just need to do what makes you happy. So if you're sitting in a job that you don't like, then you need to make a list, like I always say, and I'm always preaching, make your list and figure out what is going to make you happy, and then find out how it is that you're going to be able to do that. That's what I've been doing my whole life, and that's what's gotten me to where I am today. And now I'm super excited to be doing my live cooking show. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. I was blowing it constantly. I'm on the way to my outdoor gym. Apparently I have allergies again today. I don't know what is going on. Vegas weather is so crazy. It's 40 one day and 75 and 80 the next. But yeah, so today I just wanted to talk about the art of the follow-up and why it is so important in your personal life, because you are the only one to blame if you're not following up. You can't rely on anybody else. A lot of people might disagree with me on that, but it is up to you. And I've literally lived through this the past like a year and a half, 2 years of constantly following up and getting the answers that you need. If I've gone through 4 neurology teams to get the answer that I needed, and that was, I'm with the last one I think that is available to me in Nevada. So I'm super, super lucky about that. But when it comes to business, you want to follow up because you want to make sure that whoever you are pitching or the client that you're working with, that you care, that you're there to answer emails, that you're willing to work and wanting to work with their business, their brand. And if you have any other questions about how to do that in your business, you can leave a message in the comments or send me a private message here and I'll answer it for you, because I've come up with a little system. But I think that's all that I have today. I'm looking over my little list because you know I love a good list. And that is today's list for the show. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about something more personal, and maybe some of you can relate if you have an autoimmune disease or if you're going through something health related and you need to follow up. I would be more than happy to talk with you, get on the phone, message you, and tell you how I have been following up with all of my doctors. Maybe you need some help. So I'd be more than happy to help you. So just shoot me a message or leave a comment. And that's really what I wanted to talk to you about today. Why following up is so important in your business and your personal life. And if you have any other questions for me, drop them in the comments, and I'll leave the links to the groups for Just For Us, the KK Cafe, and my Instagram too, because I'm spending a lot of time on my Instagram stories. So if we're not connected, we can connect over there. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I hope that this show, episode 5, was useful and helpful for you. And again, if you're catching this now, go back to the beginning. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. It means a lot. And my name is Kellyanne Gorman, and I am a business and LinkedIn coach as well as a luxury brand consultant. And you can catch this show every Wednesday around 3 or 4 p.m. PST. And then the Happy Workaholic podcast is every Friday night. You can catch a new episode. I did not have one last Friday. I'm going to have another one this Friday, and that will be, I believe, episode 45. And you can listen to the Happy Workaholic podcast, which is also about business, LinkedIn, and my life. You can listen to it and download it everywhere podcasts are available except Spotify. I'm patiently waiting for that one. So until next time, you guys, see you later.